consists of private and business aircraft. As it relates to this regulation, it would be any aircraft under 12,500 pounds gross weight. Now, that would include some of the smaller citation jets, virtually all of the single-engine aircraft, piston aircraft, and so on. Probably over 300,000 aircraft in the United States are going to be affected by this new regulation. What I've handed out is kind of a synopsis according to the government report and what the regulation is about. It goes into effect December the 18th, becomes mandatory May 18th. So they've given 5 months for pilots to get up to speed so they'll understand what they have to do to be able to fly between the United States and Mexico. It does relate to other countries, but I don't want to get into that aspect of it. There are a few differences. But the bottom line is this. Any private aircraft leaving the United States, number one, the pilot of that aircraft has to, weeks in advance, get a permanent password and ID through Homeland Security. And he will use that information to go online anytime he wants to leave the United States. In the past, there's been no regulation preventing pilots, private pilots. I want to clarify that. We're not talking commercial flights, only private, which is the bulk of what we see in Sonora. The private pilots in the past were able to just file a flight plan. There was no permission required. They could fly into Sonora, and then returning to the U.S., they had to contact flight service, get a discrete code since 9/11 to be able to re-enter the United States. Fairly straightforward process. What is happening now, and it's very important to any of you in the hotel business, that the private pilots will have to become registered. They then have to file a manifest electronically before leaving the U.S. After they enter Mexico and they want to return to the United States, they again have to file a manifest. They're being treated basically like an airline, with the manifest part of this being thrown in. The key point to this, and the really difficult part of the new law that's going to discourage many people from coming to Mexico unless we take some action, is it's 60 minutes or less you have to file. Now, I'm a pilot, and I can tell you there are many times, even with a small plane, I flew in here this morning, probably going out, if I hit it at a bad time, from the time I would go to a computer keyboard, unfortunately a BlackBerry isn't going to do the job, computer keyboard, and input the information, get an approval from the United States for me to take off from Hermosillo, 60 minutes might pass. And I've got to refile. Most of us are not worried about the major airports. It's going to be Puerto Penasco, Guaymas, Alamos is not international, but we hope it's going to be one of these days. See it at Oberlin, for example. And discussing this with the Baja Bush Pilot Group, our National Association of Pilots, AOPA, Aircraft Owners and Pilot Association, has worked closely with Washington. This is a very watered-down regulation that Homeland Security came up with. They're thankful it isn't more restrictive than it is. But nevertheless, it is going to impact tourism. So my suggestion for Mexico, for Sonora and our Sonoran government, and possibly the DGAC and any other agencies that might be involved in this at one of the international airports, would be to make arrangements to have a computer station available for internet service so foreign pilots have access. If we can assure the American pilots that are accustomed to coming and going that they're going to have computer access, they're not going to worry about a fine from Uncle Sam or being stranded at an airport without being able to file. They may not file this in the air. They may not file it by phone. It has to be by internet with an approval being received from the United States. So, it's complex. We're going to have to live with it. But I think, if we take this action in Sonora, we get the computer stations in each of the international airports, and then reassure the American general aviation market that it's going to be okay. It'll be business as usual. But we have 5 months to really get our act together and get this working. Any questions?
So there are how many international airports in Sonora?
Well, how many? 5, 6? And almost 6.
So what you're asking for is a dedicated terminal, a dedicated internet terminal at each of the...
Well, it wouldn't even have to be dedicated. Like, to see that Oregon, they have a terminal there. They would just make it available.
Access to...
Yeah, just give it take 3 minutes probably to file, actually a little bit more, 5 minutes maybe, to file the needed information. Yes. The response is supposed to come right away, but who knows?
Hay un proyecto de regla de carácter general en materia de comercio exterior para implementarlo en la